Hey, it's Brian Bassett here with your totally telegraphed Week 10 Jets translations. Up first, we've got Rex Ryan, and he's answering a question about his fatal attraction to Mark Sanchez. Take a look.
Why do I believe it? Because I believe it. I don't care.
No, but like specifically,
or anybody else. I believe it. In my heart, I believe it. Now, granted, I've had I don't know how many years of experience coaching football, and I put my trust in him.
He puts his trust in Mark Sanchez. Belief can be defined as any cognitive content held as true in spite of the absence or proof or evidence. Translation, Mark is as good as a quarterback for the Jets as the Tooth Fairy would be. Put in the Tooth Fairy. Just watching that, I just have no confidence in him actually believing in his quarterback. I can't really get on board with his emphatic belief. I don't think anybody else does either. There's so many issues going on here, and Mark Sanchez was answering a lot of questions. He answered a question about whether or not he feels like he needs to be looking over his shoulder. Let's hear why he doesn't worry about it.
I mean, that never really crosses my mind. I'm too confident for that. We've won too many games together. We've had some great success here, and so I don't expect anything different.
Translation: I'm a megalomaniac and I piss excellence. He is so out of his mind, thinking that he doesn't have anything to worry about. And right, maybe it's as everybody was saying on the SNY broadcast last night. No one's threatening him. No one's threatening him, and so he just doesn't feel that he needs to do anything different. He keeps making the same mistakes. Nothing's changed. That's why he's confident and why he doesn't worry about who's over his shoulder. Next, Tim Smith of the Daily News asked him about kind of syncing between him and Tebow and how he feels about coming in and going out on plays. Watch this. This is interesting. Take a look.
Does it break your rhythm? I mean, you had I guess it was a 38-yard pass in the fourth quarter.
And came right back out, yeah.
And you came out. I mean, does that break your rhythm? Because that's to me, if a quarterback stays in, he gets in a rhythm and he can sort of keep rolling. But coming out on plays like that, does that interfere with?
It's something that we're all just getting used to, and I'm getting a better feel for it. So I'll just keep rolling, and when I'm in there, I gotta play better and take care of the football.
Translation: it really bothers me that I don't get to be in the play and be indecisive and make bad decisions more often than I get to. Tim Tebow really cramps my style. This Tim Tebow, Mark Sanchez thing is going down in a flaming heap, and there's no way that this really is going to work in any way. It seems like if they're going to try and play two of these guys, but the truth of the matter is Mark Sanchez is not playing well when he's in, and they haven't played Tebow that much. So for him to complain about it, it seems a little. And he didn't want to say it; he was right on the edge of saying it. But for him to even kind of insinuate that he's complaining about it. That to me is disingenuous. Up now, for someone who actually played well yesterday, Mike DeVito talks about his faith in the offense and whether or not they can get the offense back on track.
I mean, we saw it all training camp. We know what these guys. We know what they can do. Coach Sperano, Mark. We trust them. We know what those guys can do. And this is a tough place to play. They're put in some tough situations. So again, I trust on everybody on this team, all three phases, and we're gonna continue to rally and bounce back.
Translation: yes, this offense can get back on track, but I hope that the track leads them off the cliff into a volcano. This team is tough, and you got to credit Mike DeVito and the defensive guys for trying to rally around the rest of the team. But it's been one thing after another. If the defense isn't showing up, the offense, defense is showing up, the offense isn't, so on and so forth, and the team just can't put it together. DeVito had a great game yesterday, but unfortunately, it was a lost effort with his offense unable to score a single point. Lastly, this was the highlight of the day. Antonio Cromartie answering questions about his quarterback. Watch this.
He can kiss my because Marcus our quarterback. At the end of the day, we could give a what anybody have to say on the outsides. Mark is our quarterback, and he's going to continue to be our quarterback. There's not going to be no division between talking about having who needs to be our quarterback. Mark is our quarterback, and he's on our only quarterback.
Translation, I do not want to talk about the quarterback controversy until next September. You got to credit Antonio Cromartie for coming strong. Maybe a little too strong. Looks like the PR guy in the background wasn't so thrilled with that. But hey, this team is in a crisis mode. They won't admit it to the public. But the quarterback is an issue. The offense is an issue. They're hurt, banged up on defense, and they're just inconsistent all around. This team really is reeling. They've got 6 losses. It's already just about halfway through the season, and fans are starting to look ahead, and the coaches and the GM and the owner should too.